If all of our second graders could please come up, all of our second graders, please come up to the bima, all of our second graders. All of our second graders, if you could please come up to the bima. So right here, yeah, just like we practiced. Yeah. Hey.
Together on this day, Hinei matov, manayim shevet
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine matov v'tachsim, hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone, and welcome on our first in-person family Shabbat experience that we've had since 19 months ago. It is, and I wasn't even here 19 months ago. See how that works? It is a wonderful blessing to be with all of you tonight. We are delighted to celebrate with our second graders and their families as they lead us in song tonight. As I know you had a delicious Shabbat dinner earlier this evening as well. We delight with our youth choir that is joining us this evening to lead us in prayer, and we are very excited to be here together. A few reminders for those of you who may not have entered our sanctuary in a long time, that one of the opportunities we have to be together is by being safe with one another. So I invite you, aside from service leaders that are on the bima, we invite you to please keep your mask on at all times, above your nose and your mouth at all times, so that we can create a safe environment for everyone involved. And we invite you to continue that practice anytime you enter our sanctuary until we move into a new kind of protocol. As well, at this moment, some of you may be so full of nachas with your children up on the bima and excited that they are. You're wanting to take videos and pictures and all of those wonderful things that come with being a parent. And I know, as a parent, that's what you want to do. And so I want to remind you that those of you who are with us in person, we have a large community that is joining us virtually. And so all of the images that you'll have tonight will be captured on video that you can turn to at any time on our YouTube channel. So if you're feeling this extra pull to take out your camera, your phone at any time, know that you can always capture it, just doing a screen capture. It's that simple if you choose. So we invite you to do that as well. And we want to create this wholesome community together. So those who are in-house, turn to those white cameras in the back on the wall, wave and say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
They're waving back at us, I know. Turn to someone you may not know that's sitting next to you, around you, say Shabbat Shalom, introduce yourself.
Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Nice to meet you.
And for our second graders, where are our second graders? Where are they? Where are you? Let me see your hands. Beautiful. Our amazing, wonderful second graders. In a few years, you're going to be up on the bima like two amazing, wonderful individuals that are about to come onto the bima at this time, because tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, we will celebrate as a community as each of them become bar and bat mitzvah. And I'd love to invite Gabriel and Allegra to join us on the bima along with your families as we celebrate with you as the beginning of a wonderful weekend together. I invite you to light our Shabbat candles, and we are joining on page 2 together. We invite everybody to join in with us.
Here comes a car. Going every single opposite direction.
You're good.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של
So as some of you may be new to a service, every part of our service has a purpose. And the first part of our service, which we call Kabbalat Shabbat, is to get ready, is to get our souls ready, to get our hearts ready, to get our energy set, so that whether you're coming into our synagogue to celebrate together as community, whether you're coming in to reflect on someone you've loved and lost, whether you're coming into our synagogue because it's Shabbat and that's just what we do, what is important is that we gather the energy to do it together. And so we have Kabbalat Shabbat, which is where we sing and we rejoice in some songs and psalms. And I'm inviting you to turn to page 14 in your prayer book as we begin with Or Zarua. And this is our song to get ready to bring light into our space, into our time right now. And light is sown, that we say, for those who are just. And so we're very excited to join in with all of you.
Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Unishreler Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Unishreler Simcha. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Unishreler Simcha. Or Zarua, Latzadik, Unishreler Simcha. Unishreler Simcha. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la.
Page 24 in our prayer books, Shalom Aleichem, time for peace to be upon us. We join together.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bohem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
page 22, L'Chadodi.
L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Shamor v'Zachor v'Dibur Echad, Ishmiyanu el HaMiyuchad, Adonai Echad u'Shmo Echad, L'Shem Tiferet v'Litila. L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Itoreri, Itoreri, Giva Orem, Uri Ori, Uri Ori, Shishtaveri, Kivod Adonai Alayich Nila. L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. Ro'i v'shalom ateret b'alam, Gam b'simcha u'b'tola, Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela. L'Chadodi, B'Rakala, P'nei Shabbat, Nekabela.
Having welcomed the Sabbath light and welcomed the Sabbath bride, we turn towards our call to prayer, page 146, as we turn our attentions eastward towards Jerusalem.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai.
We turn to the words of Ma'ariv Aravim. The way we do this prayer in our family service is we have hand motions that allow us to connect the prayer to our bodies. So I'm going to invite you to place your prayer books down. The words for our prayer are right above us as our youth and teen choir leads us in Roll Into Dark, Roll Into Light.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mibnei choshech, golel or mibnei choshech. turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Boreyom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, techoshech mipnei. Roll into dark, roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
As we prepare for Shema, I'd like to invite our second graders up.
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. And we turn to page 150. As our bat mitzvah tomorrow, Allegra Grezimkovsky comes up and helps lead us in chanting Ve'ahavta, page 150.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai
Elohecha בכל לבבך
ובכל נפשך
ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
One of the stories that we learn as we're growing up is we learn that there was a man named Moses. And Moses did a lot of things for the Israelites. He helped them leave Egypt and helped them get out of slavery towards freedom, led them as they wandered in the wilderness, in the Midbar. And one of the things that we do every service is to remember how great are your works, O God. And it's part of remembering that we left Egypt from slavery and went into a time towards freedom. And so we celebrate that with the Michamocha. And the Michamocha says, Michamocha ba'ilim Adonai, how glorious are your works, O Jacob. You're saying, sorry, that was Mataru. I'm saying, Michamocha ba'ilim Adonai, who is like you among all the other gods that are worshipped. Think about it for a moment. Why? How many gods do we have? Our second graders, how many gods do we have? We have one, right? Because we just sang the Shema. So remembering, so we sang the Shema. And remembering that we have one God. But it says, by Elim, of all the other gods that are worshipped. Because in that time, all around the societies that were around the Israelites, there were many gods they believed in. And in our Judaism, the Israelite community only believed in one God. And so we acknowledge, we say that there were a lot of gods. But who are you? Who is like you among all of them? Meaning that we hold tight that we believe in one God. And so the Michamocha remembers, Michamocha ba'ilim Adonai. So when we sing it with what we call ruach. We sing it with spirit to remember that powerful message. So we hope you'll join in with us. Page 153. We join together Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. We join.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim U'feros aleinu sukat shalomecha V'takneinu b'tzatova milfanecha V'hoshienu leman shemecha.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom. V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Fros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Fros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us God wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Amen.
Continue on page 154.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם.
Me'yuven B'nei Israel Oti le'olam Oti le'olam
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את בשמיים בטרף
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם
וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש
שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise together in mind, body, and spirit for our Amidah, beginning on page 155.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sefatai timtach ufi yagid Milatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Please be seated. And as our second graders come up to help lead us in our prayer for peace, we take a few moments of silent reflection and pause. Shabbat offers us the opportunity to not just think about what we want in the world, but how we can offer gratitude and celebrate what already is in the world. So we take a moment for pause and prayer.
Oh, say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru,
Your feet are the side.
At this part of our service, we have the opportunity to think of those who are in need of healing. And that healing could be physical, it could be emotional, or it could be spiritual. And so I'm sure there are many in our lives that we're thinking of who are in need of this healing, perhaps ourselves. And in a moment, I'm going to share the names of those in our community that we know are in need of healing, and then I'll take a moment to cross the room and invite you to share the name of loved ones that you may be thinking of so we can hold them collectively in our hearts as well. In our congregational community at this time is thinking of Ernie Abbott, Mark Edelman, Jerome Bernstein, Leslie Cohen and Rob Cohen, Samantha Forish, Denise Garrick, Evie Golden, Nancy Gordon, Mark Gould, Steve Gould, Ellen Hutt, Ruthie Jordan, Ava Kernow, Michal Bat Davida David, John Mayer, Bill Mills, David Murillo III, Lisa Nelson, Sharon Ritter, Karen Romer, Galina Robalchenko, Sue Ruskin-Mayer, Rhonda Schwartz, Cindy Spector, Patricia Spira, Julie Thompson, Maxine Trimble and Gerald Trimble, David Tossman, Fred Valfer, Kathy Weil and John Weil, and George Weiss. As my eyes meet yours, I invite you to share the name or names that you're thinking of at this time. We join together in a prayer of healing, a prayer of Mishaberach.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Mikol
Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion affords us the opportunity to tell one of my favorite stories. We all know the story of Noah. Noah was called upon by God because Noah was a righteous person among his generation. And God said, "Noah, build me an ark." And Noah said, "How big?" And God said, "About 40 of these." Noah said, "What kind of wood?" God said, "Go for wood." Noah said, "How about go for building me an ark?" Fortunately, Noah was a better ark builder. And so Noah loaded all the animals on. It rained and poured for 40 daisies. Drove everyone nearly crazy. Then, eventually, the sun came out, and Moses came later. But Noah, it's something today. Your rabbis need a Shabbat. So Noah sends out a raven, and the raven comes back and says, "I can't find anything. Nevermore." That one landed. You know what else landed? A dove. The dove came back with a branch. And so Moses would still come later. Noah knew that it was time for the ark to dock and to rebuild this world from a place of righteousness. And one of my mentors, Rabbi Zach Shapiro, wrote this story about Noah. It rained and it rained. It rained so much that Noah had to build an ark to protect all of the animals. And at first, the animals were excited about their trip. "A few days at sea sounds thrilling," they said to one another. But the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the animals were getting restless. The ants were antsy. The bees were bored. The camels were complaining. The dogs were demanding. The elephants were enraged. The foxes were frantic. The giraffes were grumpy. The hyenas were hysterical. The iguanas were impatient. The jaguars were jittery. The kangaroos were kicking. And the llamas were livid. The moose were mouthing off. The nightingales were nagging. The orangutans were obnoxious. The penguins were pacing, and the quails were quick-tempered. The rabbits were rowdy. The snakes were squished. The toads were tense. The umbrella birds were unbalanced. The voles were vexed. The worms, they were worried. The oxen were exasperated. The yaks were yelling. And the zebras, well, they were zoned out. And they all blamed Noah. So Noah took a deep breath and hollered, "We're all in the same boat!" For the first time, there was silence. And then a funny thing began to happen. The ants apologized. And the bees behaved. The camels were cooperative. The dogs were diligent. and the elephants were enthusiastic. The foxes told fables, and giraffes made gifts. The hyenas were still hysterical. The iguanas invited the jaguars to jam. The kangaroos played kickball while the llamas laughed. The moose were merry and the nightingales were neighborly. The orangutans, just like all of us in an ideal world, organized their toys. The penguins held a party where the quails quoted rhymes with the rabbits. The snakes stretched out. The toads were tuckered out. The umbrella birds uprighted themselves. The voles volunteered to keep watch with the worms. The oxen were exhausted. The yaks began to yawn. The zebras crawled into their bed to catch their Z's. And as Noah tucked his animals in for the night, the ark sailed on with a promise of peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
I'd like to invite Ryan Goldenhar up for some announcements from our congregation.
I get to follow that. Wow. Aren't I lucky? So, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Ryan Goldenhar. I'm a member of your board of directors. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our service this evening. Mazel tov to both of our B'nai Mitzvahs tomorrow. We have Gabriel Skolnick. All the best to you at your bar mitzvah for tomorrow morning. And mazel tov to your parents, Joanna and Jordan, and to your sisters, Audrey and Lila. Mazel tov also to Allegra Grezimkowski on your bat mitzvah tomorrow afternoon. Mazel tov to your parents, Claire, Yuri, Perry, and your brother, Lev. And what's an announcement without talking about parking? I'll take a cue from Dan Jones. Don't forget to validate the parking before you leave tonight. I'd like to remind you that you can find everything else you need to know about Beth Israel and upcoming events at our website, cbisd.org. Also, coming up, we have Rabbi Navarez, his installation on November 12th, which is exciting. We finally get to do that. So please join us for that. Also, our Interfaith Thanksgiving celebration this year with First United Methodist will be at a new date and time, which is Sunday, November 14th at 4 p.m. And it seems appropriate that for tonight, well, for this week, we're talking about Noah and the ark and all the rain, and considering the weather we all had on Monday night with the thunder and the lightning, it all seems appropriate that way. And so that's my thought for all of us. I certainly can't top going through the alphabet with all the animals, which is wonderful. So it's nice to see everybody here. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Before we conclude our service, one of the most exciting parts of our family service, beyond getting to hear the beautiful music from our youth and teen choir, and thank you all for your participation, and more than hearing from one of our grades, thank you to our second graders for your beautiful music, and thank you to Heidi and Buddy and Jeff for adding your beautiful music. There's one tradition that we haven't been able to do in 18 plus months. The birthday pens. They can put us in masks, but they can't take away our birthday pens. So, if you have a birthday in the month of October, stand up. And we're going to invite you to come down right in front of the bima. Right in front of the bima here. Right down here, everyone. Grown-ups too, absolutely. There's no age limit to your participation or the receiving of a birthday pen. But in order to receive a birthday pen, you need to tell us your name, when your birthday is, and how old you will be turning on that day.
Maybe we'll spare the adults from sharing that knowledge if they choose not to. Would that be okay?
You're new. All right, so name, birthday, and how old?
My name is Caleb. My birthday is October 29th, and I'm turning 8.
Fantastic.
My name is Mark, and I'm turning 10 on October 25th.
All right, double digits.
My name is Sadie, and I'm turning 8 on October 15th.
Very cool, nice.
My name is Rose, and I'm turning 8 on October 11th.
All right.
My name is Delaney, and I'm turning 9 on October 31st.
Fantastic. You got this. What's your name?
Olivia,
And Olivia, how old are you turning?
9.
On what day? When's your birthday?
September 21st.
Fantastic. Awesome.
I'm Doreen Estrin. My birthday is October 19th, and I'm turning 65, Medicare.
All right.
My name is Jeff, and my birthday is October 4th, and I turned 55.
All right. 55.
My name is Catherine, and last week I turned 51.
All right.
My name is Shlomo, and on October 14, I will be old.
I like it. So you get to choose your very colorful pen, whichever you choose. There you go. And there are two things we get to do. We get to offer you a very special prayer and blessing that we say when we enter a new milestone moment. So we're going to all join together. But before that, we need to sing a little happy birthday. So we need to do a little Yom Huledet first because we're getting ready. It's a birthday, either you turn or you're turning. So let's join together and we sing.
Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach.
And when we reach a new moment, a new milestone moment, we join together for Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Give it up for our birthday blessings, our birthday leading people.
We rise together as we begin to conclude our service by turning to 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו
כמשפחות האדמה,
שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn to those whose physical bodies have departed us, but whose souls surely never leave us. We're in the period of Shiva, the first 7 days following burial, for Sidney Cantor, father of Daniel and Rachel Cantor, grandfather of Ethan. We're in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days following burial for Norman Berman, Trudy Bohm, Bunny Estrin, Sima Gapsky, April Mondini, and Sylvia Odelson. If you hear the name of your loved one, we invite you to rise so that we may acknowledge your grieving. We observe the yahrzeit, the anniversary of passing, for Joe Abrams, Stephen Adelstein, Sylvia Lever Adler, Joseph Adlersberg, Morris Alpert, Dorothy Levin Aronson, Samuel Aish, Morris Babe, Lena Bame, Jean Bark, Jeffrey Barnett, Sylvia Bartell, Manuel Barth, Jack Basser, Sybil Belkin, Donald Benjamin, Anna Berman, Oscar Block, Florence Bloom, Maurice Bloom, Hyman Betro, William Chamberlain, Joyce Chernow, Marvin Cohen, Anne Ruth Colby, Cheryl Faith Derer, Rex Davis Sr., Rose Dent, Morris Douglas, Alvin Dundee, Luis Fierzig, Ray Fierzig, Anna T. Philman, Esther Finberg, Sharon Parker Fogg, Norman Fulby, Harold Frank, David Freed, Laura Friedman, Pauline Garblick, Lillian Gilbert, Doris Klein Goetz, Harry Goldberg, Sam Goldberg, Pearl Goldman, Ethel Rachel Goldstein, George I. Goodman, Charles Gopin, Stella Gotthelf, Irving Granite, Sylvia Green, Harry Guterman, Art Harrison, Charles Hertzman, Joseph Hollander, C. Marie Ilko, Thelma Jasper, Onalee Khan, Kate Kimmel, Morris Kimmel, Fritz Lavender, Dita Ruth Lawton, Saul Le Pen, Rosalind Littman, Selma Malk, Irving Marblestone, Ann Mentier, Harry Oxner, Rosabelle Oxner, Natus Oken, Victoria Black Orden, Sarah Papelbaum, Leah Patz, Irving Paul, Ann Platt, Frida Pleiner, Melvin Pollock, Alan Portnoy, Rita Press, Celia Price, Irving Radin, Jacob Raffleson, Stanley Ray, Alfred Rich, Josephine Reisner, Cy Robbins, Greg Rogan, Monroe A. Rosenblum, Selma Rubenstein, Marshall Ruderman, Newton Rudolph, Sophie Saltzman, Betty Samit, Gerald Sachs, Dixie Schumacher, Aaron Schwartz, Richard Serwin, Marvin Siegel, Rebecca Silverman, Adam Simon, Abe Siner, Elaine Singer, Rose Slav, Gloria Penner Snyder, Irving Solomon, Abraham David Stein, Rose Stiegler, Ideal Stotsky, George Struley, Tom Stewart, Stephanie Sussman, Stephen Tarko, I. Harry Tenenbaum, Stanley Turkle, Alice Van Leer, Max Weissman, A. Williams, and Goldie Winnicki. Perhaps you've come to say Kaddish for a loved one whose name was not mentioned. I invite you to rise and share that name with our community as our eyes meet. We rise together as a caring community on page 294 for the words of Kaddish Yatom on Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayeh dechol Beit Israel, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudsha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we all say, Amen. Amen. I invite you to place your prayer books down, get your hands ready, your arms around the person next to you if you so choose. Or you may also, we invite, participate in a little Shabbos dance, a Rikudei Am, as we join together in Yehei Yehei. Yehei Yehei, Yehei Shalama Rabbah, Yehei Shalama Rabbah, Rabbah min Shemaya, Yehei Yehei, Yehei Shalama Rabbah, Shalama Rabbah min Shemaya. Hey, hey, Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. Hey, hey, Shlama Rabbah.
min Shemaya, Yehei, Yehei, Yehei Shalama Rabba, Yehei Shalama Rabba, Rabba min Shemaya, Yehei, Yehei, Yehei Shalama Rabba, Yehei Shalama Rabba, min Shemaya, Yehei. Shlama Rabba, min Shemaya, hey, hey, 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 Shlama Rabba, hey, Shlama Rabba, min Shemaya, hey, 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 Shlama Rabba. Shalama Rabba, min Shemaya, Yehei, Yehei, Yehei Shalama Rabba, Yehei Shalama Rabba, Rabba min Shemaya, Yehei, Yehei, Yehei Shalama Rabba, Yehei Shalama Rabba, min Shemaya.
Shabbat Shalom. Before we head off to our oneg, let's join together in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.